Hello and welcome to Famous Sports on the end of day 2 of the ALFRED DUNHILL Championship. The cut has been made and we are down to the weekend field. A very interesting day where we saw course records threatened to be broken. We saw a lot of people going low, saw quite a few people going very high. And Ross, first of all, before we even dive into who's doing what's your feeling around the first 2 days? What are we thinking? What are we looking at now?
I think it's been a very interesting first 2 days. There's been some high scores, there's been some low scores, there's been a lot of changes atop the leaderboard. I mean, after yesterday, you would have thought Burmester was a shoo-in. Played some really, really solid golf, and nobody else looked like they were threatening him. And even this morning, he looked solid with 2 under par, leading for most of the day. And then you had the guys coming in the afternoon field, which we thought was going to be really tough. I mean, on the way driving here, on the way here today, I mean, there wasn't a breath of wind. It was cool, soft greens, and then we thought the afternoon field was really going to struggle. And it was quite the opposite. Kimsey, Jamison, Aaron Cockrell, all looking really good. Kimsey and Jamison nearly breaking course records. And threw a span in the mix for the weekend. And so I think going forward is going to be really interesting. But the first 2 days have definitely been action-packed.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at that at the leaderboard. Burmester coming in at 9 under looked pretty comfortable. A bit frustrating around, I think, for him. A couple of his putts not quite dropping.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, what an afternoon we saw. We saw, for example, today we saw Scott Jamison just come in at 9 under today. He's at the top of the leaderboard with a 3-shot lead at 13 under. Behind him, David Rivetto, just come off of Q School, just qualifying, and all of a sudden 10 under, 5 under both days. Nathan Kimsey carding an 8 under today to go 10 under. And Eddie Pepperell, Mr. Future Live, 7 under, 10 under. So also a little bit of frustrating from a South African perspective, because we would have thought that the South Africans were firmly in the charge, and all of a sudden the internationals sort of coming together in the last few days.
It's definitely a bit frustrating. I mean, you look at Burmester, we watched him out on the course today, and there were definitely a few putts that should have gone that didn't. Louis getting off to a really good start. Fratelli, I think he was 6 under through 6, or was that Louis?
Louis was
6 under through 6, and then not having a really good day out there, but not doing what he could have. I mean, we look at all the course records that the guys that threatened the course record today, and after being 6 under through 6, he definitely should have been one of them. Still a lot of golf to play, 2 days of golf to go, and I have no doubt the South Africans will come back hot tomorrow on moving day.
Yeah, I mean, look at the South Africans to watch. Demo was 2 under today, 9 under through the tournament. Oliver Becker playing nicely today, 6 under, getting himself to 9 under. Dylan Mostert, somebody who we watched, was really struggling at Blair Athol a week ago.
And Joburg Open. He's had 2 tough weeks.
Yeah, and he comes back today with a 7 under. So really good to see him getting a bit of groove back. Dylan Fratelli, who had to qualify, 8 under on the second day. He's tied with Louis Oosthuizen. Darren Fickard had a good day yesterday. Jaden Shaper likes this course. You know, this is where he got that top 5 2 years ago and sort of really announced himself. Brandon Grace in the mix at 7 under. So it's a nice sort of array of players, but I don't think anybody thought that they would see Scott Jamison 3-shot lead of today too.
No, definitely not. He didn't do anything incredibly special yesterday and wasn't really in the talk after yesterday. But golf's a funny game, and all it takes is a 63 to put yourself right back in it.
Yeah, I think what's been interesting, as I said, is that, you know, you're looking at over here, it looks a bit, the weather obviously looks quite good, but we have just come off the back of about 2 hours of raining, which I think has taken a lot of people out of the contention.
With the rain early in the day as well.
Yeah, so it's been interesting to sort of see how every single time we expect the course to play a bit harder, that we expect the course to be a bit more challenging, it doesn't actually tend to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, Jamison, we thought the course was going to play tough this afternoon based off the wind and the heat, and it ended up pouring with rain for 2 or 3 hours this afternoon, and you still had the guys shooting 63, 64, 65.
Yeah, both Kimsey and Jamison in the afternoon, and Pepperell in the
all
afternoon.
In the rain and the sun.
But yeah, moving into the weekend, you know, what do we expect to see from the course? There are quite a few tee boxes which can change, it can move and stuff like that.
I hope we see it pushed back a little bit. There are a few that can be pushed back a little bit. It'll be interesting to see tomorrow with the rain that we've had, and if it rains again overnight, how it plays tomorrow. If it plays a little bit softer, we'll make it a bit easier for guys to go for flags. Also, as we get into the weekend, with flags going to be more tucked with softer greens, that'll make it a lot easier than if the greens were firm. As well as the humidity after all of this rain will it'll definitely play a lot longer with the humidity and the ball not flying as far.
Yeah, I think also seeding's coming into it. Will be quite cool. Be interesting to sort of see some of the grouping stuff like that. A couple of other big names to watch as we go into the weekend. Not
DUNHILL.
necessarily at the top. DUNHILL sitting at 5 under, 3 under today. Daniel van Tonda sitting at 5 under. He went 5 under today, actually. James Hart-Dupree putting himself in the mix with a 3 under. Tristan Lawrence, the SA Open champion, carded 1 under today at 4 under. Eric van Rooyen went through it even today at 3 under. Volkan Inamba sitting at 3 under as well, going 1 over today, so not the best day for him. But an interesting weekend, and yeah, from our side, really hoping for a South African winner.
Yeah.
If you're putting your money on someone, who are you putting your money on?
I'm gonna go with Burmy.
Yeah,
He's been hitting the ball really nicely, and I think today the biggest thing was the putts didn't drop. But I mean, in what we've seen and what we watched today, he's hitting the ball really good. So if he can get that putter hot, I think you'll see another 65, maybe even lower what he did yesterday when the putter was working. So Burmy.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think he's looking really comfortable out there. So there we go. So at the end of day 2, we've got Scott Jamieson with a 3-shot lead. The chasing pack is David Oveto, Nathan Kimsey, Eddie Pepperell, all 10 under. After that, MJ Duffy, Dean Burmester, Aaron Cockrell, Oliver Becker, and Dylan Mostert, all at 9 over. We'll see you tomorrow for the moving day. Tomorrow we'll really start to see exactly how this sort of field starts to spread out ahead of what should be an absolutely scintillating day of action on Sunday. We will, for the first time in 2 years, crown a champion of the ALFRED DUNHILL Championship. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well, and we'll see you guys next time.